Maybe that would.
Yes. Great. Hi. Welcome. Welcome back to the bar with us for more than 1.5 years. The last show we had it live was in person, March last year. So we're very, very excited. I hope you are too. I hope it's nice, amazing. I'm very excited about the talk we're going to have. We're also going to have a section with news. I should present myself first. I'm Valentina. I'm a PhD student at the University of Groningen, and I will be the host tonight. Hosting with me is Katia Franceva. She's a doctor at the University of Groningen. She's going to illuminate us with all her knowledge tonight. A real doctor, yeah, of course. Yeah, and our speaker tonight, is she going to join us? Yeah, she's going to join us for the news. Daniele, she's going to be giving a talk today about the ancient astronomy in South America, which is very, very interesting. And yeah, so we're going to start right now with the news. Yes, can you? Here. Yes, great. So maybe we should have like a song, like
That's too good.
this month in astronomy.
I should tell us a little here.
I mean,
Not during the presentation.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So first news of this. Yes, of this month. So last month, Russia filmed a movie in the ISS, in the International Space Station, and a Russian actor and a film director were in the International Space Station for 12 days and shoot scenes for the first movie that will be ever recorded and ordered. And the names are here: Julia Perescu and Klim Shipenko. Is it okay? Is it? And yeah, so they want to be the first ones because as maybe you know, NASA and SpaceX had already announced that they were doing a project with Tom Cruise, but Russia already started filming the project. So as always, there is competition between the two. And yeah, the plot is centered on a surgeon which is dispatched to the ISS to save a cosmonaut from a deadly disease. I don't know. It's a secret, but very exciting news.
Yeah, so another news that we wanted to talk about happened last week, and this is about the coronal mass ejection. So that's basically the explosions of the sun that we can observe, and that also affect the atmosphere of our planet. And for example, like just a question, like if some ejection like this happens on the sun, how can we see it on our planet? Like, can you come up with some idea how, what is the connection between the explosion on the sun and then how it comes to Earth and how it affects our planet or our atmosphere? Just any guess?
Just shout.
Yeah, just shout. Yeah, just shout at me.
Magnetic field. Northern lights.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so the last week there was very particular coronal mass ejection on the sun, and it's called Cannibal One because basically one sunspot ejected the material, well, it was the explosion that was propagated in space, and then another spot did the same, but that the second spot explosion was much faster and it kind of ate the first explosion. So
Dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. But the interesting thing that we could observe it on our planet as the Northern Lights, and this time we could see also in the Netherlands. So if you maybe saw in the news last week, there were very, very beautiful pictures of how you could see the Northern Lights from the northern islands of the Netherlands, so in the Baden Islands. It just looks very beautiful, so you can Google for the pictures from previous week. And yeah, And yeah, interesting thing that basically this from mass ejection, the only thing they tell us about how active is the sun, and we know that the sun has a periodic activity. So every 11 years, the sun goes through the cycle of activity. So from low activity to high, and then again low again. And that repeats every 11 years. So 11 years.
5 years?
11. Yeah, and so now we are in the cycle number 25, and we are 2 years into this new cycle. So we just expect that there will be more activity on the sun, and then it will go down again. So keep an eye on northern lights and on the explosions in the sun. And stay safe.
From the sun. Okay. Oh, no, but you are better explaining. Well, yeah, I can explain. So, yes, so maybe you've all heard of the space mission Luna, that it's observing Jupiter, studying Jupiter, and we've gotten new results from that the mission that it's looking into the. Oh, sorry, so much silence. Thank you. It's studying the clouds in Jupiter, trying to see how deep the storm, for example, in the big red spot in Jupiter goes, like how deep it goes inside the planet. And they think that it's deeper than we ever expected. And here we have a picture of like comparing the size of the red spot with the size of the Earth, and how deep they think the storm goes inside of the planet. That's it. Oh, yes, Lucy mission. Yes, okay, sorry. So the Lucy mission is a mission that was recently launched to study the Trojan asteroids that are around Jupiter, right? On the second order of Jupiter, sorry. Yes, and well, this is an image of the rocket that took the satellite up into orbit, and it's going towards its mission now to explore the asteroids. So yeah, Lucy mission is exploring the Trojan asteroids in the orbit of Jupiter. Yeah, of course you can say. Go, go.
A little bit about the previous news about the. Yeah, so I just wanted to add that this is a really cool mission because it's going to study this particular type of asteroids. And the very cool thing about them that they were never studied by a space mission before. And the interesting thing about them is also we know that these particular asteroids, so they basically just go on the same orbit as Jupiter, just one group goes in front of the Jupiter, and the other group goes behind Jupiter. So it's like one guy's like, hey, catch us, and the other guy's like, oh, I'm gonna catch you. And so we never studied them up close, but they're very interesting because we know that they didn't form at that place. So basically they were pushed into those places at the early stages when our solar system was messy and crazy and everything was moving around, and those guys, they were moved in there. And they also have a lot of different types, which means that they have a lot of different compositions. So like one guys have a lot of iron, the other guys don't have iron, and things like that. And so, huh? Do you have something to say?
Heckler so early. Has nothing to do with story.
And so basically this mission is going to study not one asteroid, but 6 different asteroids. And this is really cool because when you study a mission and you just study one asteroid, you think, oh, I spent so much money and it's wasting money on one thing. But now you're going to have 6. So it's really cool. And also all these 6 asteroids, they have different compositions. So we think that they were born in different places in the solar system. So basically with one space mission, we're going to study different types of asteroids, and we're going to learn about different places in the solar system in the very, very past. And that's really, really cool. Yeah, and the name Lucy comes from the famous song of the Beatles.
You can tell that she's the expert in asteroids. Okay, I know I'm an exercise. You can ask me about exercise. And yeah, last but not least, the 3rd of November, we celebrated the anniversary of sending poor little Mycams into space. She was their first animal to be sent into orbit, not the first living being to be put in space, because the first one were fruit flies. But like it was the first like animals we put into orbit, and it orbited for I don't know, a little bit more than an hour, I think. And then something happened. And they didn't come back. But she helped us a lot to advance our technology to go to space. So all thanks to all hail like her. And yeah. Oh, but we sent other animals into space, like for example rabbits, cats, monkeys, chimpanzees, tortoises, many animals, not only food like have they stolen from back?
I hope so. No, I think that at the later stages, some came back to life.
Okay.
I mean, I think she came back as well, just not.
No, okay, yeah, she came back. I understand. Yes, okay. We have to wear a before, but yes, thanks to like a. Let's see with the astronomy news this month. Thank you for your attention. And now we'll go to our speaker. Daniele is here. She's a PhD student at the University of Groningen. And she's going to be talking, as I said before, about astronomy in South America, in ancient South America. Very, very interesting. Yes, I know. Thank you.
Hi, so, well, I'm Daniele. I am an engineer. I work with the development of instrumentation for astronomy, and also a little bit of chemistry. I'm doing a double PhD. So half of it is here in Captain Institute, and the other half is University of São Paulo, Brazil. So yeah, I would like to talk a little bit about my future using astronomy as a background. The idea was to bring something not that technical, but yeah, to have a nice chat with you. I guess it's a nice subject. Well, so why did we invent astronomy? That's a question that we can try answering from different perspectives. We can try answering that about talking about the more practical approach. For example, how we use astronomy to guide ourselves.
Take the microphone.
Some technical So yeah, we can try answering that question from different perspectives. We can even say that we didn't invent astronomy, we discovered it. But well, I'm an engineer, I am very practical. So I'm gonna go through from the approach of the practical approach, of course, engineering. So well, we don't have any we don't have a documentation of the when we were nomadic hunter-gatherers, but we have some rudimentary paintings, documents when you became sedentary agriculturalists. It happened around 20,000 before Christ, and yeah, and why we did that? Well, first of all, we had to walk a lot to find reserves. We couldn't have like a big groups, right? So it was quite tiring, right? Walk a lot and don't find food and whatever. So we discovered actually, knowing a little bit about how the cycles works, how the season works, and yeah, how the climate works, we could actually have cultivate our own food hunt animals that were around us, take care of them. So yeah, then we invent a thing called calendars. The calendars in different cultures. The first one is from Egypt. This one is a Chinese one. This one is a Maya one. Ooh. All of them has one thing in common. They are circular. It's why they are circular. Someone has any guess of it? Why are they circular? Yeah, because it's a cycle. It repeats. So we noticed, we human beings, we noticed that around, maybe more, I don't know, but around 20,000 years before Christ, and we noticed that there are some changes in the environment that happens every year, and with that we made the calendars. That's a very okay. It's very interesting. For example, this one. So this one, the Egyptian one, the Egyptian calendar is very interesting because it already had 365 days, 12 months, and 3 seasons. So it was already quite close of the calendar that you have nowadays, that you use nowadays. The 3 seasons were inundation, emergence, and harvest. And of course, because of the Egyptian civilization was created, developed around the Nile. So of course it's related with the cycles of the river. So, but how did we actually related it? Which correlations we found? It was related, of course, with the sky, because yeah, that was basically the only thing that you could use, right? It was the repeating a cycle was the movement of the stars, the movement of the planets, and yeah, so because of the movement of the constellations, because of the movement of the sun, not only the sunrise and sunset, but also the position of the sun in the sky that oscillate a little bit more to the north, more to the south. Right. So yeah, with those clues from the sky, you could actually predict how the year would be, the best time we should plant our food, should hunt, and when you should actually store everything because you wouldn't be able to have food. So if you wouldn't store that, yeah, you definitely would need to go to another region with new reserves and not really develop our civilization, our society, as we have nowadays. Yeah, so now going to South America. First of all, let me introduce you to South America. It's very far away. So that's Brazil. Here, part of it. South America is all of it here. So we have the equator line here, the tropics here, tropical Capricorn, tropical Cancer here. So Brazil is considered a tropical country because most of it is within tropics. That's why. Of course, I'm gonna talk much more about Brazil because I'm Brazilian. So I'd like to introduce you to my culture and talk about astronomy. And well, other thing that's very important here is South America. So Brazil. Here we have Chile. That area here is the area where you can observe the sky the best. The Atacama Desert here. Amazonia is only this region here. And here you have Peru, the region that you have Machu Picchu and the center of astronomy and the Incas, the Incan Empire. Another thing that I would like to show to you is the size. Yeah, mine is bigger. So that's Brazil, South America, and I cut out a little bit of Argentina and Chile. Sorry. Yeah, too big, it's too big. So Netherlands, France, Romania, and yeah. Oh, Brazil. The rainforest Amazonia is in this dark gray area here. And yeah. So in South America, we have three great civilizations: the Aztecas, Mayas, and Incas. We have here the Aztecas around in the region of Mexico. Mayas also get rid of Mexico, if another and another countries from Central America. The Incas were the ones that were in the South America, getting all the coast here. And yeah, those were the biggest ones. As you can see, Machu Picchu, the picture here, it's incredible, amazing. That city was a city for astronomers, only for the people that would study the sky. It wasn't like a city that everyone would live there, no, just for study. But I'm not going to talk about the Incas itself, but all the cultures, the tribes, the civilizations that we had in the whole South America, they shared quite the same beliefs related to astronomy. And yeah, let's start with the seasons, for example, because here we can see 4 seasons, like a very clear 4 seasons: summer, winter, fall, spring. In Brazil and South America in general, we can't. Maybe in the south of Chile you can see it better, but close to the equator line, no way. We can see green and a little bit less green. Yeah, that's one of the regions that I like the most. Was close by the city that I live. And yeah, so basically during this in spring and summer it would look like that, and during fall and winter it would look like that. No snow, no, and always very warm. So I put there new time and old time, because the ancient Brazilians and not only Brazilians but a lot of people from South America around Brazil, they would divide the calendar in 2 big seasons that you would call old time and new time. The new time would be the seasons that we have more light. So during the spring, when you have flowers and birds flying around, the insects. The summer, that was very warm. And the old time, that would be the dry time. It's the only difference between new time and old time. The new time rains a lot, the old time is very dry. Well, just show quick review about seasons. Well, we have some 4 nice days, 4 good days to remember about the change of the seasons. That is the solstice and the equinox. So we have December solstice, that here is the winter solstice. In Brazil, it's summer solstice because it's upside down, south hemisphere. The June solstice, that's the winter solstice there. March equinox, that's the fall equinox. And the September, that's the, no, it's the other way around. No, it's, you're right, I'm confused right now. It's actually the different things. So yeah, basically we have this, the Earth always stays with around 23 degrees of inclination and goes around the sun like that. So in each different position in the orbit, we have more light pointed to one direction. So here is the tropical Cancer. So that would be in the solstice of summer in the north hemisphere. You can see that the north hemisphere has more sun here, more than half. That's the axis. So more than half, we have more sun, and winter. So yeah, so you can see that change of the sun during the year. Well, so how do we mark the seasons, the beginning of the season? I'm sure that all of you heard about the Stonehenge. That was built at the last phase of it. It was the one that put the big rocks there. 2000 before Christ. But we also have a Brazilian Stonehenge. called Pedra do Sol. That's the sunstone, something like that. And we can't actually date at the time of it because, well, it's a tropical country. It's close by the rainforest, so it's a lot of rain. The climate is not that nice, so we can't really date the carbon there because of the water itself. So yeah, they guess that's something between 0 and 4,000 before Christ, but we can't be sure about it.
That's a long.
Yeah, we can't really date it. So another way to mark the beginning of a season is with the constellations. So here in Europe, you guys make the constellations connecting dots in the sky. But in Brazil, we also use the contrast between the molecular clouds, the dark clouds in the sky, and the bright of the Milky Way. Well, it's a different way to see it. But yeah, the sky in the southern hemisphere is amazing. The Milky Way is really, really bright, so it makes sense. We use more of the contrast there that we use it here. Well, so we have the Deer Constellation. That's the constellation that when it's fully in the sky, you can see it fully in the beginning of the night. You have the beginning of the old time. It means that fall started. So I made a comparison to compare here. So here you have the Deer Constellation, and you can hear the same sky with the constellations that you know or maybe don't. We have the Emma constellation, the Emu constellation, that marks for us, well, that's the star. Here you can see the Scorpio constellation. Probably you know that one better than the other ones. It's a very famous one. So we have here is Antares. Here, see? So yeah, they are bigger than the European constellations that used for the contrast of the sky. And the interesting part of the constellations are the stories that they tell. Like here you have crazy stories, there we have it too. I'd like to share with you. So, well, when Emma is, you can fully see it in the sky. It's the middle of the old time. It means that's the beginning of winter. And here we have the midway. See, Paris is here. Nihil is here, and the Crux. This constellation here you can't see from the north hemisphere. Yeah, because it's in the south. Almost it's close to the South Pole, the celestial South Pole. And it's interesting because here, when you are lost, you can try to find the Polaris, and then you figure out where north is. In Brazil, we don't have Polaris, but we have the cross, the Southern Cross. So use the Southern Cross to find the south. So it's an upside down world. Yeah, so the story behind it is, well, the Emma is a bird that drinks a lot of water, and the cross, the Crux, is holding the Emma's head, because if the cross goes away, the head of the Emma will fall on the earth and it will drink all the water, so everything will be dry forever, everyone will die. Yes. Yeah, the Brazilians are very nice. Yeah, very nice people. So yeah, that's a cartoon what will happen if the cross go away. So yeah, but the point is, it marks the beginning of the winter. That's the driest season in Brazil. So it makes sense that they would invent something like that. Yeah, before I talk a little bit more about the other ancient constellations, the Southern Cross is one that's very important for us because it's, as I told you, it's the way that we manage to orient ourselves. It's formed by 5 stars, so that those 5 here, this little one. And we have a very nice molecular cloud here, carbon monoxide dioxide cloud. You can really see that if you have a clear sky, you can really see the dark spot in the sky. It's very cool. And just to give you a little bit of a orientation, that's opposite cloudy, and then it crosses here. Okay, so the next one is the Colibri constellation. And yeah, it's around Lira, Silira, Vega. Vega is this one here. So that's the Colibri. Also have a lot of clouds there, so yeah, it was a lot to make the shades and the colorful bird. And the Colibri is, it appears in the sky when you have the spring. So of course, it's of course there's something related between birds and spring, right? So the Colibri get the flowers, the sugar, and feed one of the gods. So it shows that now the flowers are here, we have the spring. So yeah, you can see completely the Colibri in the sky. You can be sure that everything will be better. All the flowers will be there. So middle end of September, so you can see that. Then we have also another one. That's the Old Man Constellation, Constelação do Homem Velho. That's a very creepy story, actually. Well, first of all, his head here is a Pleiades. Before I go to the creepy part, let me just talk a little bit about astronomy. So here we have the Pleiades, Taurus, and yeah, you can look for that in the Stellarium or another software. You can also find it to download it and see the Brazilian constellations there. It's very cool. So yeah, so the Old Man is in December, is when the summer started, so it's very hot. It's interesting because when the Pleiades start to appear in the sky, so the Old Man is not fully visible, but you can start seeing Pleiades, the heads of the Old Man. You know that the rains will start very often. And yeah, it happens. I spent 2 years of my life paying attention to the net. It's true. So yeah, let's go to the creepy part of the story. So the Old Man, he had a wife that was way younger than him, and she wanted to hook up with his brother, younger brother. But what?
The brother of the bears or
The brother of the old man. Yeah, her brother-in-law. Yeah, it's kind of a Mexican telenovela, right? Yeah, but so she couldn't, so she killed the guy, cutting out one of his legs. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Cut his leg, and he bleeds out until he's dead. So then the gods, they felt so sorry for him that they transformed the guy in a constellation. So yeah, that's the story. Yeah, and then you could get sorry. When you can see the old man in the sky is summer, so you definitely die because it's super warm. Well, of course, that's not an ancient picture, but we have in Brazil some schools that still teach about the native culture. They are really rare, but they really try to keep it. We lost a lot of it. So, well, we have 2 seasons, but every month they had a calendar. What is good to do? In each month. So we have like January as the corn season. You should get the corn out. Fevereiro, oh sorry, speaking Portuguese. February, we have like the rivers are like full of water because we have the rains. And yeah, anyway, a lot of stuff. So each month, and they have it for thousands of years before Christ. You can still learn about it today, like from them, the pure native people. It's cool. Well, besides the seasons, we also used astronomy for orientation. So we had, of course, north, south, east, west. It's here, it's not that different, right? And yeah, but they made a clock that had the main constellations that would mark the seasons. And they also had 5 gods. First god is, and that's very important, the gods are related to the orientation, north, south, east, east, west. So we had Jakaira from the north, because from the north we had good winds. Yamantu is the god of sun and words. So yeah, if you want to, increase your ability to speak as a shoe, you should look to the south. Well, it would be interesting. Pray to the south. For the east is Karai, that's fire. Because yeah, we have sun and more the coast side, if you think about Brazil. From the east, we have the other countries in South America, so it's more related to the coast. To west, we have Tupã, so the storms, things that came from the sea, humidity, storms, thunderstorms. And yeah, that's a difference between other cultures because we also have zenith. It's when you point right above your head to the sky, that's zenith. And that's the god of the goddess. That's the one that made everyone. All the other gods made us, and he's the one that rule everything. So it's a 3-dimensional way to orient yourself. Also thinking about that. Also, the moon was very important. Well, we have the tide. We use the tide. We knew that, and you knew that before Newton came up with the tidal rules. We knew that. Yeah, he came in the 16th century with that. We knew that. Yeah, calendar and symbology. Well, let me just make a quick review of all tides. So we have the solar tide and the lunar tide. It's depend the alignment between the moon and the sun. So when you have the new moon here, the dark side to the earth, so new moon, we have alignment between the axes here. So the tide is bigger in this point, and because the lunar tide and the solar tide are aligned. When you have a first quarter, they are not aligned, so they're even different. So we can see the sea level going so high during quarter, first quarter moon. Yeah, and they knew that. They used it. And one of the reasons, well, not because we are smarter than Newton before Christ, that's not the point. But the point is, in tropical countries, the tide effects, they are much more noticeable than out of the tropics. We have much more influence on it. That's the point. Yeah, and we have a short biography about the moon, also called Jashi. The moon was Sun's younger brother. Yeah, it wasn't a woman. Usually the moon is a woman in other cultures. But in Brazil, it was a boy. Yeah, a man, and was Venus' husband. They are always together, sometimes they fly, go away, there together. And yeah, the moon also gave us the months. Because yeah, first of all, to measure the time, we watch the sun. So we have the idea of a date. And with the moon, we have the idea of the month. We could actually measure the months. And yeah, so we also have 12 months, as you saw the calendar that was made by kids. And another part of the moon biography is her nemesis, his nemesis, Anya. It was an evil spirit that at one point was fishing, and it fished the moon. So he got the moon, he killed the moon, he prepared the moon as a fish, and when it happened, the moon became completely black. So that's how they explain the eclipses. So this evil spirit got the moon and killed it. And then his big brother, the sun, killed the spirit, saved the moon, and bring the moon again to life. So every time that we have an eclipse in Brazil for the natives, or for the ones that are very connected with the native future, it's such huge event because it means rebirth. It means that you are bring up from that someone that you like or your dreams or so. There's a huge connection, huge celebration about it. Well, all of it, and we are back in the same question. Why did we invent astronomy? So yeah, put it here. So yeah, these paintings in the wall, they are maybe for 2000 before Christ, but we are not sure because of the conditions in Brazil. We can't properly date it stuff. But the archaeologists there, studying that for more than 30 years, they noticed that those paintings weren't only about registers of time or small talk, small chats that they would have with each other, but it was also trying to understand and to explain the things that we still want to know now. How it happened, the universe and everything. How to explain everything. So yeah, we are trying to do that since ever. We have registers of it since we became sedentaries. And yeah, we have also here Pedra do Ingá. Here's another picture of the Pedra do Sol, the Brazilian Stonehenge. And yeah, we don't know much about it, as we don't know much about the things that we have here, because a lot of the history is lost. So what I would like to bring with this talk here is, well, we are kind of looking for the same thing. Doesn't matter, country, continent. We had a different way to view the world in Brazil that you had here in that time. That was kind of lost with the American expansion. We lost a lot of it. For example, the natives, they don't have a word like here. You have a tree is a thing, and you use a person. So you have like this. You can distinguish. No, in Brazil, if it's alive, it's the same level, of importance. So it was very environment connected culture. So that's one of the reasons that it didn't have like a huge pyramids or huge cities, because everything was kind of a symbiosis with the environment, not really destroying stuff, but living with it around. And yeah, we still have it, of course, but it's well, 3% of the population, I dare to say. It's a very optimistic approach. And yeah, but then on the other hand, yeah, we lost it very much. But on the other hand, we felt it didn't change. We couldn't connect in this how we are doing now. Different countries, everyone together, understanding each other. So yeah, the question here is, shall we maybe learn a little bit what we knew before? How much of that we should bring up today? With the climate change, everything. And well, anyway, the idea is to ask you, why did you invent astronomy, and share a little bit about your future too. How do you see astronomy? How do you see how our society developed it based on the sky and the dreams out of it, trying to understand where are you from? We from? How we end up here? How everything developed. So yeah. So what do you think?
Thank you for the amazing talk. It's very, very interesting, especially for me, but in general. I connect a lot with what you explained, and I'm sure other people present in the audience also. Any questions for our speaker? Any questions about astronomy and museum? If you ask a question, we can give you a little gift. No? No question? Yes. You want?
So I was curious about this EU constellation because I once heard a very similar story in Australia. Apparently, the original people there also had a big Emo constellations, I think, close to that position, but I'm not sure. Do you know anything about this?
Yes, and that's really a interesting question because that's one of the things that support the theory that actually the people in South America also had visits from the Aborigines in Australia. They got some sheep and went there. And yeah, we have not only that, not only the astronomy itself, but also some fossils and other registers there to remind a little bit the Aborigines' way to write. So yeah, the Emu constellation and the Old Man Constellation, they are also present. The Aborigines. It's exactly the same constellation. Same position. Thanks.
Any other question? Okay. Well, I have a question. Yeah, so I was wondering, do you if you're working in any other technique to date these like ancient constructions in Brazil and also in other places in Latin America, where like other techniques that I use here don't work? Because I have this, well, maybe this is because I am from Latin America, it's very the development of this science is very centered around the things that they have found here that they can measure with the techniques that exist now. So I don't know, maybe you know more about what is being done in Brazil.
I don't know. It's also an answer, right? I don't know. As far as I know, they are trying different ways to get carbon, but none of them are really successful. What they are trying to do is using a radar. You point the radar to the ground, and you try to measure the layers of the soil, and they get not really big. Date the layers of the soil, and then you can maybe try to see the. But it's hard because of the rains and the rivers. It wouldn't take everything away with it. So I don't know.
Okay, so no other questions. Last time I asked. You don't want a sticker? Oh, yes. People want stickers.
Here for the speakers. No, so I was wondering because you showed this map that you have like, I don't know, Aztecs, Mayas, and Incas. And it's very clear like where the locations are. So, yeah, exactly. So I was wondering like the people that built this site that you were showing us in Brazil, I mean, were they Incas that just moved around, or were they originated from Brazil, or where did they come from?
They were not from Brazil. They had different names in the tribes, different beliefs, different ways to organize the society, but related with astronomy and religion, how they see the world. The whole Latin America is quite similar, because it came from the same wave of migration. So yeah, that's the gas that we have, right? It's the same wave of migration spread the culture there. So we are quite similar. Okay, but there are different tribes, different influences, the different regions.
And like the places that you were showing, are they all like cluster in the region, or they are spread all around?
Okay, so let's see. Here. So the Brazilian Stonehenge, here. No, here, sorry, on the top, here. And that's a huge rock with inscriptions, it's here. And those paintings, they are here. So yeah, you can see the Netherlands here, and other France here. So, yeah, you should cross France to twice to visit the ridges. So it's not that close by. So it's also supports. You can also see in the south that we have the same beliefs, and but they're also the same kind of type of descriptions, but they're very far away, very far away.
How did they know that Machu Picchu was the city of science and not for people?
Because of the ceramics that they found there, they didn't have really much reminiscence of day-by-day living, you know, and they also had the register about astronomy. They had the city kind of close by, Cusco. It was a place that actually people lived there. And I'm not sure, but I guess there were some inscriptions about how they used the city to really observe the sky. And as far as I know, it was only allowed for men to be there because they were the astronauts, of course.
Well, if you have any other questions, you can always come and ask the speaker. No, it's too late. Too late. So I want to thank again the speaker. Well, I'll give her gift, which is the mug of Astronomy. Here, this is the moment for you to go get one because we're gonna have a little break now before we go to the quiz. And yeah, start thinking about the things that you want to make to complete the quiz. I hope you paid attention to everything we said. And yeah, see you in a bit.
Again, well done apart from that one team. Oh, baby PhD of yourself still at the top. Some more baby PhDs getting back on the screen again. Well done. In the Brazilian indigenous culture, what does an eclipse symbolize? Apocalypse, good fishing, rebirth, or bad luck? And if you thought it was going to be good fishing and then you catch a rebirth, it's very complicated. It was rebirth. Well, let's have one part two teams. Points scored, but no movement in the leaderboard. There's a lot of questions. The sun's activity is governed by a regular cycle of 6, 11, 51, or 100 years. 11 years. 100 years, a bit too long, it is 11 years. PhDs, 1, as a speaker, 6 in a row. Didn't change up and down the leaderboard. The Lucy space mission is going to study what? Trojan asteroids, comets, can't read what it says, too far away, or Jupiter? Should be the sky was orange. I'm not going to sing it. I don't have a Liverpool accent. Come on, the leaderboard people, you need to get these people up there, get yourselves on there, speed and corn. First animals in space were fruit flies, first in orbit with a dog called Lycan, which have not been to space, tortoise, rat, ferret, or rabbit. Tortoise, they specifically told me tortoise ran out there. She said the tortoise. You can't remember that. Wait, you can't remember that. 16. Get a grip. Get a grip. My favourite story I heard from cosmonauts is that there was a cockroach that stowed away and got itself launched to the Mir space station when that was still there. And then after a few years, got itself back down to Earth again. So it will also survive going to space and coming back, even though not on purpose, both directions. Alright. Oh, that did also move. I'm moving on the leaderboard. Alright. Can you float and navigate in a submarine on Jupiter? I personally was very skeptical about this question. I have got a graph. You can come discuss later with a graph if you don't figure out the question. I still don't believe whether this answer is right or not. But I have printed out the graph in case we need to do some science notes. You feel you are hard done by. Alright, next. Very popular movement on the scoreboard. Oh, this is a what is this round? You're gonna see a thing and it's what is this? Space lasers, asteroid defense system, atmospheric calibration system, laser-based telescope. Okay. Can see what we need to make sure we're doing these highest climates? When is June? A long time ago in a galaxy far away. 20,000 years in the future. Right now, or 2,000 years in the past. Roughly 20,000 years in the future. You are so nerdy to all get back. I think you're studying all kinds of the wrong thing. Alright. Now we've got some pictures of the Earth from space. These are always controversial, and you have to type the answer, which I always hate these because no doubt people will be argumentative about it. Anyway, you're going to see something on the Earth from space. You've got a question about it, you have to type in what the answer is to the question. Then have to press the next button. Type the answer. Which country is this? We understand there are parts of other countries that appear in this image. If you want to leave that picture about your answer, then go. You can read my WhatsApp history messages from earlier today, literally saying why wasn't the time going to be okay as an answer, and I was told that I was supposed to tell you that you should type in the English word. This will become important for the next question, which formerly had both versions available, but now also only has the English version. So only answer the next one in English. Sorry to one team who were being smart. Type the answer. What? What's the even said English? What is the English name of this island? Does he not know it's not Jewish, but does he know what it is? Type in France. Some people are really thinking about it, they're running out of time. Time is up. It is. I see brothers get it right. Attacking baby PhDs won. Baby PhDs are on the rise. 4 players just got 3 in a row. We'll see you later. Tells you on your phone if you want to. Which still European city is this? I mean, that's good selection. London. Need more EastEnders fans to really get that. You know what that is? No problem. All right, another city coming up. What city is this one? Also European. One of the only questions I got wrong on my practice here. A lot of thinking there. I'll wait to see the answer. Well, I'll admit I got it. My answer was no clue. We can have a break. Want a break, or do you want to carry on? No break. Yes, you get 4 people. All right, I have the clue. Oh, it's only 30 seconds. Let's be quick. I'm going to say the first one, then press start. So I'll give you the first clue, then we'll start. You have to type in the year, 4 digits. Yeah, I remember to say that. I've been thinking about that all the way here. I was worried about 4 digits in the year. Don't spell it out, just the numerals. All right. In this year, NASA's Curiosity Mars rover obtained the first deep rock sample from another planet. For a second clue, Benedict XVI resigned as Pope. Another clue, her Star Trek Into Darkness and Gravity came into the cinemas. And a meteor exploded over the Russian city of Chelyabinsk. Those were all the clues. If you're taking this one, you're probably just Googling what year the movies came out. But by this time, from alphabet, you've done. 1950, you can give us an answer. Oh, a big collection of years. Well done, you got that one. I was 5 years on this one. My other hope was that. No movement up here on the leaderboard. Up to 5 in a row though. Well done if you got that one right. Do you remember 2000? Name these galaxies. Tarantula, Friday, Convera, Black Eye. Convera Galaxy, indeed. Adding points, no movement around. If you're not on the leaderboard, start doing faster and correct answers. Name this moon. Mimas, Europa, Ceres, or that's no moon. That's my best Obi-Wan voice that I can do. It is mine. See all that difference was. No shifting again, just a few points getting. Everything's still playful though, guys. Really. Everyone can be taken down one question at a time. Name this galaxy. Antennae galaxy, Mice galaxy, Pinwheel galaxy, Andromeda galaxy. Yeah. Lots of people want it to be the antennae of more famous. They go on trying to make it out there. Alright. Name this moon. Io, Titania, overall Europa. Name this moon. You were really bad at the last moon, maybe you're better at this. Not wanting to be overly critical. That was Io, much better at Io. People still going for Europa. Doesn't look like either of these. You live on your phone. You keep seeing every moon of Europa. No shifting. Point score. Point extremely close to the top. Give it a round. Everyone's favourite type of round. It's time for Jean-Luc Picard or Neil Tyson. It's also whether it's a quote of theirs as well. Some of them may have said the thing in passing, but really, It's your thing. If we get bored of this round, we'll start going through them fast too. Who said make it so? Ricardo Tyson. That was Ricardo. This was one of the examples where I have in fact heard Neil Tyson saying it, but he was quoting a quote from Captain Picard. So I judged that this to be the valid answer. In case it comes up again. It's so nightmare. Can you bear the temptation? Every choice we make allows us to manipulate the future. Picard or Tyson. Oh. Not going to go Picard. Every choice you make manipulates the future. Captain Picard. That could have had horrible effects. It just had a little baby purring how it's like. Alright. The universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. It's kind of in if you're studying economy. Big Tyson joke. Well done. Picard may have said it in passing. Little swing last minute climbers coming in there. Can we hold this top spot for the last few questions? Knowing how to think empowers you far beyond those who know only what to think. Put it a bit Picard and not do, put it a bit Tyson on a little. Well, I do know. Picard tends to not be that philosophical. Still exceedingly close things going on. Things are only impossible until they are not. Picard or Tyson? That's tough in my opinion. Not in your opinion. So I guess it's all coming down to these last two questions. And the last one isn't a question. So this one. We'll start as book like then empowered by the university. Actually, it was Tyson's seen the saving throw, I feel. We'll let it slide. And just because you thought the last one was going to get some points, it's not. How was your evening today? Let us know. You don't get points for getting this right. Not 8 out of 10. Oh, that team didn't win. Alright. Third place. TGL. Wave if it's you. Second place, Dave Casey's Wall. Somewhere there. And first place. I advise Nat as his moment here that he should get his moment. The team, sensible advice, because when my family was here, also wasn't good.
See, there are a lot of PhD students here, but I've done more cahoots.
Yeah. And also bring your family from random countries as well, and then they massively help you with the film team. So congratulations that team, thank you everyone for coming. Please go get more drinks at the bar, hang out, chat with us with the astronomers. Our speaker is trying to run away, which you can grab her on the way out if you want to ask questions. Ask us questions. If anyone wants to help us organize these events, let us know too. Oh, Tina's going to say something beautiful. Use the microphone.
I was gonna say the same. Like, if you thought that it was very fun, this that we're doing, and you're an astronomer, and you wanna help us, we are looking for people to help. It's very fun. You can get beers and drink a lot and answer questions of astronomy. Yeah, join us. Woo!
Yeah, everyone else getting